Once again, we're starting to witness a new leap in what AI can do. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how I use Claude Code and its skills function to create really nice web assets. As always, Claude Code can appear a bit difficult at first, but once you've actually got it set up installed, it's pretty easy to use. Okay, jumping in, we're opened up a new folder with no files. We've got Claude Code and we've already got the skills embedded. So I'll talk through how to add a skill later, but in this case, I just want to show you that copying and pasting or putting in a simple to understand English prompt. So in this case, create a landing page for my business called ASpace. It's a co-working space in Melbourne, specifically for people and businesses utilizing AI. So I can just run that prompt. It doesn't mention anything about the tech stack or any development requirements. It's just going to do its best to make a landing page given this limited info that I've given it. So we'll let it run for just a couple of minutes and we'll check in to see how it looks. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes and we've got our first version back. As we run through this thread, we can see that even without asking for it to use the skill, Claude Code identified that it's got its front-end design skill already added to this project, and it should be using it based on this prompt. So I didn't have to say, hey, Claude, use these skills. It just inherently understands to use skills if they're related to the prompt. It then spent about 10 minutes writing a single HTML file and has kind of told me that it's now completed and what all the kind of sections are. And you can see it took 9 minutes and 10 seconds. So, okay, so this is what it's created. And straight away, I know that this doesn't look like the typical gradient purple AI UI design if you've ever tried it before or seen some other AI projects. It's definitely that next step in terms of elegance and sophistication. And reminder, we didn't tell it anything about our brand or our design aesthetic. It just chose to go in this direction. And what's cool is it's pretty interactive, even for a basic HTML page. You can see the hover effect, and I'm assuming if we click that, it creates transitions, and it's created these graphics. Like, these are all custom graphics that it created for this without me telling it. And you can see the hover effects. It's not the best contrast, but again, lovely transitions and animations. And that's the beauty of using this skill, is that it is prioritizing the interactions versus not considering them. So we can continue to see all of this design choices, styling, and really nice custom graphics. Like, I'm even looking this, it's got Collins Street, Flinders Street. This is a legitimate map of Melbourne's CBD, and you can see where our hypothetical location would be. So amazing upgrade in terms of what AI is able to produce on first go when using something like a skill. But again, you don't have to be a developer to do this, and you don't have to be a developer to make this even better. So what we can do is we can come back to Claude Code, and ultimately, if there's a website or brand that we really like, or maybe we've already got a brand and we want our website to mimic that a lot more, we can, again, just using very basic design terms, we can improve on this rapidly, and we can create multiple iterations in 10-minute increments versus waiting days to create new, pretty sophisticated designs. So for example, I'm a big fan of Notion and a design style called glassmorphism. It's essentially, transparency, frosted windows, things like that. So we can say, okay, this is a good start, but let's improve the design to use a more glassmorphic design, very similar to Apple's design principles, as well as a brand that I really like is Notion. I really like their slightly warmer colors. Also, I think there are some color hierarchies around buttons and hover states, which could also be improved. So I'm just using a transcription service, but we can get that prompt slightly design speak. But if you don't have those design chops, then you can definitely just tell it what colors you like and things like that. So Right now, it's going to run through the same thing again. It's going to be looking for that skill, and then it's going to take our feedback, run for a couple of minutes, and we'll see what this next iteration looks like. Okay, so it's been another kind of 9 minutes, and we can see it's gone through the same process pretty much again, and it's updated the color palette and style, improved the hierarchy on the buttons, changed the typography, and changed some of the rounding on the corners. So a nice, clear, pretty clear summary on what it's done. And we can look into this, and yeah, I think this is much better already. Just a tiny bit of feedback, and I think this style is much more usable and still pretty sophisticated. So you can see a nice little kind of hover effect on that button. And again, we've got some really nice transitions and everything there. So just a much more comfortable or friendly design for my personal style. And it's still maintained all of these kind of custom graphics and everything there. So yeah, pretty much 2 very basic prompts to get this quality in 20 minutes, I think is pretty unreal. And it's only going to keep getting better. Like, I think I love this subtle gradient there, and yeah, just really nice design. So I'm constantly excited about Claude Code, what it's capable of doing, where AI is going. And this isn't just to be used for things like landing pages, but can actually be used for dashboards as well. Here's an example of a dashboard that I've created using 2 similar prompts to the ones we just walked through. And you can see it's absolutely crushed this design. For 20 minutes of work, this is an amazing leap forward from even 6 months ago. The hardest thing about working with skills is probably adding them initially if you're not too familiar with Claude Code or the terminal. But what you would do is ultimately through your terminal where you've got your Claude Code project is use a npm call like npx skills, which is actually accessing Vercel's skill library, which seems to be the best place to find skills at the moment, and simply adding the skills through their skills commands. But you can see this is pretty basic commands. And what's great is skills aren't just related to design. People are building tons of skills like for SEO, so we can do an SEO search to find skills that will help you with SEO, sales, research, data science. There are going to be more and more skills related to what you want to do that people are already building on that you can leverage, or that you can let Claude leverage pretty much instantly. Design is what I'm excited about at the moment, but I'm definitely excited to check out some of these skills as well in future videos. Stay tuned for those. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see.